Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to a car ride review. That's what we'll call these, car ride reviews. Today's review, we're going to chit-chat about the movie It. And then after that, we're going to have a little chit-chat about Spider-Man Homecoming, because better late than never, I finally got to see it. So let's start with the movie It. It was boring. Let me preface that by saying, I've never been big into horror movies. They've never really interested me. I think they're boring. I think they're cheap entertainment because I don't know. It's easy to feed off people's fears, and a lot of people are entertained by that. I'm not. I didn't. It was cinematically a great movie. The story was well written. The overall concept was great. You know, I've never read the book. My wife has read the book. She said she enjoyed it. I love a lot of what Stephen King does. But like I said, I've never been a big horror movie fan, just simply because they're not entertaining to me. But the wife wanted to go see It, so she suckered me into it, and we went and saw it and sat through it. There's a couple like cheap jump scares in my opinion, for people that get scared. Honestly, the best part of the movie was listening to the people in the audience. You know, like you would think during a movie you don't want to hear any talking, but during a horror movie I kind of do, because I enjoy some of the commentary from some of these people. I know there was a young group of teens, probably weren't, they might have been freshman college age, sitting over my left shoulder, and when it was over, when the movie was over, one of the girls looks at the other girl, she's like, I came and saw this with you, but no, never again. She's like, if they do another one, we're not coming to see this. No, never. No. And the other friend was like, why? It was a good movie. She's like, no. That was all she would say. So it was funny. And then there was another couple, I didn't see them, I just heard the young lady speak, and like during like all the weird, like when they would go into places they shouldn't go, she'd be like, what you doing? Don't be stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hell no. So yeah, it was interesting listening to them. For me, the movie, like I said, cinematically it was really cool. The graphics were cool. The guy that played Pennywise did a really good job. You know, but Tim Curry, he holds a special place in my heart. So, but this guy, like I said, he did a good job. The kids they did a good job with the kids. Some of the jokes were really good, and they really portrayed, you know, young teenage boys coming into their own with some of the stupid teenage jokes, you know, the your mom jokes and the constant references to the kids' genitals and stuff. So I mean, that was funny. I will say the young gentleman, I don't know his name, but he was in Stranger Things. He was the lead in Stranger Things. Did an excellent job with his character. They all did. All the kids did a really good job. And like I said, the guy that played Pennywise did a good job. The acting, everything. There was nothing, honestly, cinematically wrong with the movie. It just, like I said, it was boring to me. I wasn't scared at all, and I don't have a fear of clowns, so maybe that's why it wasn't scary, or it wasn't that big of a deal. But if if you enjoy scary movies, if you enjoyed the original It, then I would say it's worth a checking into. I think, you'll probably enjoy it. Go into it realizing that this isn't Tim Curry. It's not the original It. Stop living in the past and just go see it as if you've never seen another It movie and go from there. So if you take it like that, it was a decent movie. If you take it just going into it as a lover of the cinema, then it was a good movie. And if I pull apart the fact that I'm not into scary movies, they don't interest me. If I go into it looking at it as just a movie, as a lover of cinema, then it wasn't a good movie. So I know my wife didn't care for it, and she's a big fan of the It series. She's a huge Stephen King fan in her, book snobbish ways. She was like, the book was better. And it's funny, I'm like, you book snob. And she was like, what? It was. But I do it too. So there are a lot of books that I've read, they've made movies, and the book was way better. But that's because they can't translate those books into movies, very well. It's too difficult. So anyways, if you like scary movies, go give It a shot. If you're afraid of clowns and you enjoy being afraid, go give It a shot. Like I said, the young gentleman that played Pennywise, great job. He did well. And overall, cinematically, the movie was a good movie. Not my cup of tea. I was surprised how many people brought their young children to see it. But then at the same time, my wife saw, this little girl must have been 8, come in. My wife's like, what the heck? Why would you bring your kids? And I'm like, well, to be honest, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure I saw Chucky at the age of 5, and Poltergeist, and Puppet Master, and all these scary movies that I saw as a kid. I was between the ages of 5 and 10. So my little sister at the age of 5, her favorite movie was one of the Chucky movies. I don't even remember which one it was. So if it was the first or the second. But yeah, so I'm like, okay, I get it. You might as well introduce to them. My kids, they're not into scary stuff, so we don't take them to stuff like that. But yeah, it was. She was in shock, and I was too at first, and then I was kind of like, nope, no, I'm not, because at that age, younger, we were watching scarier movies. We had stuff like The Exorcist, so yeah, it was funny too, because a while back when Logan came out, I had talked to a buddy of mine. I'm like, I'm gonna bring my son, he wants to see it, and he's like, you're gonna bring your 10-year-old to a movie like that? It's supposed to be pretty brutal. I'm like, didn't we just have a conversation that at the age of 6 and 7 we were watching Rambo First Blood, Rocky, and RoboCop, the original RoboCop? And he's like, touche, good point. And I'm like, he's like, I'm just making sure you realize it. And I was like, they're gonna get introduced to it. At least with Logan, it was graphic and there was a lot of bloodshed, but it was a movie he could enjoy because it was a story he enjoyed, which we ended up not taking him. We did watch it at home. So yeah, it was. Anyways, so moving past it didn't get out till about 10 o'clock. So I was like, well, I kind of want to go see Spider-Man because I've been wanting to go see it since it came out. We just haven't had time or money, and other things have come up. So the kids were with my mom, so I called her. I was like, are you cool with us not getting home till 2 o'clock in the morning? And she was like, yeah, no big deal. So Chris and I went and saw Spider-Man Homecoming. She said she enjoyed it a lot more than she enjoyed it, and I will say I did too. Now, here's the thing with that, comic book movies and superhero movies, they've always held that special place with me. So I'm gonna fanboy a little bit when it comes to Spider-Man. I will say the young gentleman, and I know his first name's Tom, but I keep wanting to say Holland, and I know it's not Holland. The guy that played Peter Parker did a phenomenal job. To me, not looking at the previous two Peter Parkers, he embodies Peter Parker in the way he acts and stuff. So he did a phenomenal job with the character of Spider-Man, and because he is a teenager, so he kind of gets it, he did a good job playing the part of both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. His young friend was an awesome addition. I know Kevin Smith talked about it, about him being like this chubby kid and, you know, wanting to put on the suit, and how, you know, as a young kid, Kevin Smith being a chubby kid, me too, as a young kid, and even now, there was never, you weren't represented in a movie, so it was cool to see that his, Peter Parker's best friend was a little bit on the heavy side. So yeah, it was cool. The Michael Keaton, probably one of my favorite actors ever. He sits up there with Tom Hanks. I don't think I've ever seen a Michael Keaton movie that I didn't like, and I'm gonna tell you, as playing, I think the villain's name is the Falcon, phenomenal. It was awesome, you know. And it's interesting because I kind of see why he went down the road he went. You know, he had this big project, he hired all these people, and then the government swoops in and they take the contract from him, and they basically don't reimburse him. So, I mean, like, he's a villain that you can side with. Not in the sense that, like, you don't want to be a criminal, but in the sense that, like, he felt like that's what he had to do to provide for his family, you know? A lot of the destruction, you know, he's like a construction cleanup crew. That's what he owns. It's his business. Most of what's going on now is all superheroes destroying stuff and alien technology, and so he was a villain that you could really put yourself into. You could really get in his mindset of why he was doing what he was doing, you know. Yeah, holy cow, Michael Keaton, man, just, he did such a good job in this movie. It just shows the man can play. He can play the good guy, he can play the bad guy, he can play the anti-hero, the vigilante, in the same sense that he can play the goofy guy that copies himself, you know, multiplicity. So I really enjoyed his character. I liked that the movie had Tony Stark and it had Happy, but it wasn't oversaturated with Iron Man and Tony Stark. You know, I liked that it had that Tony Stark and the Iron Man in the Iron Man suit. I liked that they had a reason to be in the movie. So, and it wasn't just, we're using Iron Man to sell this movie. No, Spider-Man sold that movie. The kid playing Peter Parker sold that movie. Michael Keaton sold that movie. Like I said, it was a phenomenal movie. It was so, so good. And I could really put my headspace in the same headspace as both Peter Parker and the villain. And yeah, it was... yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming, I super, super recommend you seeing it. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure all of you have seen it. Just because it's been out for so long, sometimes I'm slow getting to it. Unless it's a movie that I'm absolutely dying to go see. And I was dying to go see Spider-Man, just a lot of stuff came in the way. But if it's like Thor, I plan on seeing Thor 3 Ragnarok within opening weekend. That's my goal. Anyways, so I'm almost to work. I just thought I would share my thoughts and opinions on the movie It. and the Spider-Man Homecoming movie. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. If you enjoy these car ride reviews, give me a thumbs up, and let me know in the comments that you enjoy them, and I'll watch some other movies that I haven't seen. I'm sure there's plenty of older movies I haven't seen that I can go back and watch and give you my opinions on them, or new movies that are coming out. I've got a couple movies from Redbox into the house that I can watch and give you guys some reviews on those. Just let me know. Let me know if you enjoy these. Let me know if you enjoy my take on some of these movies. Let me know if you agree. Have you seen it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you agree with me? Same thing with Spider-Man. Don't forget to subscribe for more car ride reviews, or you can just check out the vlogs that I do. I try to do those on a daily basis, depending on what's going on with work and stuff. But I hope you enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Till tomorrow.